Time to revisit my man. It's complicated as he corrals and captures and traps these liars in their own words. Are men slaves to their gender roles? The answer is yes. If they want to get together with the opposite sex, yes. Now, let's see him do his magic.
Should men have the freedom to ditch their traditional gender roles just like women do?
Yes, absolutely. Why not?
But she's lying. He's going to expose her lies, right?
I think that might limit them sometimes, but I feel like everyone should have freedom to do what they want to do, no matter what sex they are.
Except if they want to date you, right?
You should be able to have that freedom. Everybody should have the liberty to do whatever they want in a relationship. But is it frowned upon? Yes, for men, yes, it is, of course.
What do you think that
It's frowned upon, right? So he's at least admitting the bias, guys.
does to his dating options and why?
Well, they probably limits them by a significant amount. If
There you go, you lying sack. You lied at the first. So men are held to their gender roles by your gender, by your sex. So she doesn't believe what she just claimed earlier. Some guy dates her. He's going to fulfill his gender roles. He's going to work for her.
he's looking for women, but
I prefer a traditional woman. I want to take care of you, and I want you to take care of me emotionally, and I'll take care of you financially and physically. That's
What a pathetic mangina. Dude, you would love to have an actual egalitarian relationship with a woman. You simply know you can't. So here you are throwing out to the girls, ladies, I'm willing to be your slave. I'm willing to work for you. What a lame duck.
me. If you ditch that, you're probably going to get with someone who doesn't give a shit about you.
But you see, if a guy wants an equal relationship with a woman, he doesn't care about you. BS called, you mangina.
Women's gender roles originally were just to stay at home and be housewives, and men were to go to work, and they're still expected to do that and provide for the family, but women aren't in a way. You know what I mean?
So does he actually have the freedom, or do women enforce these roles based on their selections in men?
I think it's a
Excellent question. Let's hear the BS.
man's choice. And women, I think naturally, women probably want to procreate, and so generally would reinforce it. But if a man
See that? See, she's trying to make it about procreation, like women's enslavement or lack of egalitarianism in the relationships with men. It's all because they want to reproduce. Lady, you're full of it. The birth rates in any modern first world country drop. Your excuses, your lies are denied.
doesn't want to do that, then it's his choice.
I think a
I
lot.
agree. If a man doesn't want to be a slave, it is his choice, right? But that doesn't mean that these women aren't putting those demands out in the first place. This is offside, but lady, what's going on with your makeup? Your nose looks like it's made out of bronze. Anyway,
A lot of girls expect the man to provide and work while they stay at home, and if a man doesn't want to do that, then that like it decreases his options.
there you go. She admitted it. I notice when they're admitting just how unfair it is, they're all full of smiles, guys. This woman's laughing her ass off. They love it that men are the underclass. That's why when we say all women, we're correct. And we're allowed to say it. All women right here, right? She admits it.
What do you think that does to his dating options and why?
What does it do? I mean, it probably limits them because a lot of women have a different set boundaries. But I mean, once you find
See, so women have set boundaries. So she's trying to make out her demands of an unequal relationship as setting boundaries. right? Like a man is he's invading a woman's boundaries or not respecting them by expecting equality. Now, this goes beyond feminism. These are the average woman. The average woman is anti-equality.
The person that is okay with it, it works.
So does he actually have the freedom, or do women enforce those roles based on their selections in men?
Probably enforce it because everyone has boundaries, but
Yeah, look, enforce it. So, yeah, kind of like, hey, lady, it's kind of like how the conquistadors, enforced their boundaries on the Incas and the Mayans, right? So again, notice how all these people, they're doing bad things, but they want to try and paint it in a good light. So this is invading my boundaries. Expecting equality is boundary invading, right?
So do you think that men are slaves to their gender roles?
I would like to say no.
Yeah, you would like it, but it'd be a lie because you are enslaving us to our gender roles. You girls admitting it with great big smiles on your face.
But then I guess you could turn around and think, are women slaves to their gender roles as well?
No, they aren't. Men don't demand anything. That simp earlier, he turned around and said, I demand a relationship where I work for you. And you give me a pat in the head. No, that's a lie. Your lie is rejected.
Well, yeah, but do you think that a woman has to cook and clean and do all those like traditional things to be with men?
That you said women have to?
No, do you think that women have to do all those traditional things to be with men?
No.
Yeah, no, you don't. That's right. You sack. Continue.
No.
So then wouldn't men be more likely to be slaves to their gender roles than women?
Then probably.
Why do people
Yeah, she finally had to admit it. And again, it's a big smile, guys, because they love it. All right. This is what women actually think about injustice and unfairness. You think they have a sense of it? No. If it benefits them, then it's fantastic. Back to simp here.
think male loneliness is self-inflicted if women's mate choice still overwhelmingly rewards traditional masculinity?
Yeah, unfortunately, women want the top like 5% of men, and so that leaves just 95% of men with.
No, it's not just top five. Sorry, dude. I'm going to have to correct you. They want submission. There are all kinds of guys who aren't top five that are married or have girlfriends. They just had to submit, like you. That's why if you wanted to get together, if you believed in what you were saying, you wouldn't just submit. You wouldn't say, girls, I'm willing to be your little slave boy. You would be working to make money and become a somebody.
With no choices.
Why do women complain about a gender pay gap if men typically have to earn more money in order to be chosen by women?
Because in today's day and age, women are single mothers. They live on their own. They're lesbians, and they all.
What? This woman, I hate the stupid people. This woman is a stupid person. This particular one. Why is she bringing up single mothers for? Women are single because they're of their own choices, right?
Also need to make as much as men do.
If a man doesn't want to be the provider, protector, or initiator in dating, is that attractive?
It depends on what the girl wants, but personally, yes, that's not attractive.
There you go. Then that's the way it is. She should just say yes. It all depends what the girl is want, but I'm admitting that I am as a girl, want exactly that.
If that's like, I would want a man to provide. I wouldn't want him to like.
There you go. Work for me. That's what provision means. That's what breadwinner means. Worker. She doesn't want a man because she loves him for himself. She doesn't want a partner. She wants someone to work for her.
It depends. Like, if he's just staying at home doing absolutely nothing, I wouldn't want that.
Yeah, but that's not what you said. She just wants an equal relationship. She wants the man working for you. You are a liar, lady. You're pretending that you would actually go for an equal relationship when you just said you weren't. Why don't you go for a relationship where neither one of you providing? Hey, why can't he just stay at home? If he stays at home and plays in his own apartment, you're in your own apartment or house, and you guys get just to get together. What's wrong with that?
Why are gender roles optional for women but mandatory for men?
I feel like they're optional for women because women have a idea that they don't have to do certain things if they don't want to do it. But
Well, it's not an idea. That's the way it works, dude.
men, you can have that same idea, but you just won't be chosen at the end of the day.
There you go. Finally, you admit it. Then what was all that gibberish before? Now look at smiley face again, guys. All these women who are finally admitting that they're non-egalitarians, that they see what men as beneath them. They're always got their chiclets flashing, right?
I don't think it's necessarily that way. I think that we're opening up more as a society for both roles. But yeah, probably.
Well, then you'd be lying your ass off then. Gaslighting rejected.
The male traditional gender role is moving a little bit slower.
Why are gender roles optional for women but mandatory for men?
This is like waking me up. I'm not gonna lie. Like these questions are waking me up. I don't know. I couldn't answer that.
What would it look like for
Women don't recognize their own privilege, dude. They're waking me up. So what if they do wake it up? You're not going to change. This is not going to change any of your behavior, though, lady. Men have to change their own behavior. Guys, that's not going to change this woman's behavior whatsoever.
for men to fully opt out of traditional male roles?
Well, okay, honestly, I feel like if they completely like switch sides, they would just be at home cooking, cleaning. But I think it should be equal. Like I feel like both the woman and the man should be working, providing for the household.
You just admitted that you want the man providing for you, so you're lying now. Lady, I don't know who you are, woman B, C, or D. You're a liar.
And also cleaning up as well.
If a woman seeks independence, we call it empowerment. If a man seeks freedom from his obligations, what do we call that?
Probably laziness.
There you go. Admit it. See, it's a double standards, right?
Why is there a difference?
Because a man is like seen as like he's supposed to be doing this.
By you. That's what she's leaving out, right? Back to this genius.
Do you think men are slaves to their gender roles?
Yeah, if you want to be a good husband or a good boyfriend or whatever role you're playing in your relationship.
If you want to be a good slave, right? Hey, dude, why did you bother with the civil rights movement? Why did you bother with Martin Luther King since you were glad to be a slave? You should have just allowed the white nationalists to run all over you guys.
Then I feel like you have to play that role and you have to play it well.
I feel like men should be slaves to a point. I don't mean slaves in a
Holy shit, there you go. I know that some of the guys say don't use simp, but that mangina might be a better word, but sorry. Simp is just so much easier to roll off the tongue. I'm using it. This guy is a complete simp. You're the reason why men don't have rights. Look at in his hat, happy dad, happy little slave boy.
negative way. I mean, make your woman happy, she'll make you happy. If for some reason
Bullshit, dude. Bullshit. Women don't make men happy. And if you're saying, well, you are saying that to make a woman happy, you have to submit, you got to be beneath her, you got to work for her. What a pathetic wretch you are.
reason you're not understanding the gender roles, it's probably why you're not happy, in my opinion.
Who enforces gender roles?
You don't know your place, dude. If you're not happy, you just don't know your place. Notice that submitting and being beneath women doesn't change the divorce rates whatsoever, does it? Definitely doesn't stop child support.
More, men or women?
I feel like women do.
How?
women, they say that you're supposed to do this, I'm supposed to do that, and I feel like men, on the other hand, are pretty much just relaxed and laid back. Now, a lot of traditional men may
Exactly, dude. Exactly. Men just want the woman around. They don't need anything from her. Women don't want men. The average woman doesn't want you, dude. So you've got to bribe her.
enforce it, but I feel like women overall more likely to enforce those gender roles.
Why are gender roles strictly enforced in straight relationships as opposed to same-sex couples?
I'm not sure about that. I think the gays have it absolutely, they have the best situation possible. Open relationships, everyone's happy. I don't.
Yeah, so that's your fault, you lying sack. Actually, lesbians' relationships fall apart faster than anybody's because they both want to be paid. They both want the other one to submit, and it doesn't work out.
Quite understand why it's different in traditional relationships.
Yes, you do, you liar, because you demand it. You're not interested in the men, so you want men to be slave to you. That's why.
I think women will
I
prefer
should bypass this genius, by the way, because every time she has nothing to say.
for the man to do everything and like pay for things that need to be paid for. But when you're dating same sex as I am, it's kind of just like, oh, okay, you're paying, I'll get you next time. Okay, you're paying, you're buying me this, I'll get you next time.
There you go. She's admitting, so it's between women and men. Women despise men because she would not treat another woman like she would a man.
When women go out with women, they'll often split the bill and hold the door open for each other. Why is it as soon as a man's involved, he has to do all the work?
I think women consider it more respectful for the man to do the things for the woman because of
Because he's a slave. Yeah, exactly. Right. So it's not respectful for a woman to be obligated. Yes. See, again, it's word swap. They want to show their enslavement as a good thing, right? So it's respectful when a man is a complete slave and has no rights.
traditional habits.
Wouldn't it be polite and respectful for women to do all the same things for men?
Yes, like me as a woman, I do the same things with for my guy friends and things like that. I
No,
think
you don't. You're lying.
it would be a lot more respectful.
If a man ditches his gender roles, does that make him a woman?
No, I don't think it makes him a woman per se. It's just what he chooses to be.
Oh man.
But you wouldn't date a guy like that. That's what she's leaving out.
Man, if you ditch your gender roles, I mean, it's literally called gender roles. If you're not doing your role as in your gender, then I guess you're not that gender anymore.
Right wingers are just scum. Let's face it.
If a woman ditches her roles, does that make her a man?
No, absolutely not. No one says that.
I feel like women have more of a say-so in this because a man is more prepared to take care of himself, whereas women feel like sometimes they want to be taken care of. They don't need to be. Let's not get that twisted.
No, dude. No, you lying sack. Women take care of themselves just fine. They live on their own. It's just that if a man's involved, he's got to pay her for her time and her presence. This is prostitution.
But sometimes women want to be more than men.
What happens to relationships if both partners reject traditional roles?
Ooh. Then I guess we just have a completely different culture and society, and that's probably where we're moving.
No, we're not. No, we're not. You're a lying sack. Because you admitted that you would not deal with a man like that. And if you aren't, the next woman isn't. All these women that have been interviewed, they all admit they want men in their gender roles.
If equality is the goal, should expectations decrease for everyone or increase for everyone?
I think it. I don't know. I think maybe decrease, and I feel like everyone should be doing the same thing.
Do we judge men?
Yeah, but you won't date a guy who does the same thing. I know I'm repeating myself.
Men more harshly for not fulfilling roles than we judge women?
Of course.
Why is that?
I feel like men have a certain stigma over them that if you don't do what a man is supposed to do, whatever that's supposed to mean to you, then you're not a
You
man.
mean whatever the woman says. A man won't provide his own stigma, right?
So how are men not just slaves to their gender roles?
That is true. That is very true.
What would it look like for men to fully opt out of traditional male roles?
I think you would see more men in like childcare, in traditionally feminine workforces. That'd probably be a big one.
Yeah, how? Women would kick men out. They gatekeep those positions. Wrong.
We would have less roads and less buildings and less construction in general, less sewage, less.
So, in other words, you're admitting that men upkeep the place. Like women aren't going to do those dirty jobs. Thanks for admitting this, slave boy.
Of a lot of things that men do to build this community.
Would society function differently if large numbers of men stopped protecting and providing?
Well, yes, I think it would. I mean, well, I think that women are obviously working more within the last 70 years and
Yeah, but you're not protecting. He didn't say whether you're working. They said, are you protecting and providing?
conforming to, what was traditionally seen as a male role. And so it's just we are constantly changing. Culture is constantly
No,
changing.
no, the culture hasn't changed one bit in that direction. It's getting worse for men, but it's not changing in a positive way. You're a liar. Your lies are being called out.
Changing roles are constantly changing. So
No, they're not. It's just obviously not. Demonstratively not. You're a liar.
nothing's traditional anymore.
Do people still prefer traditional?
What do you mean nothing's traditional? You just admitted you wouldn't date a man who didn't fulfill his roles. It's 100% traditional for men.
Male behavior, even while saying roles shouldn't matter?
Yes, I think deep down for many people they do, although I think there are parts of society that are changing, but
Yeah, like such as what? You lying sack.
women do appreciate a certain
This woman disgusts me the most of all. I don't even want to see her face.
sort of men. We prefer men that take care of us. Yeah, a lot of
But there you go. She just admitted it. Then, like, society's not changing at all. Then, is it, you liar? These liars always contradict themselves. Society's changing, but I demand that things stay the same.
do.
Is there a difference between what we say we believe and what we reward in practice?
Actions speak louder than words.
If a woman seeks independence, we call it empowerment. If a man seeks freedom from obligation, what do we call that?
A lot of people would like to call it cowardice.
Not
There you go. Thank you for admitting that. Right. And by the way, it's complicated. I know you had to be smart and called it independence, but women aren't searching for independence. They're entirely dependent on the labor of men. That simp Mangina with the ball cap said it, there would all of a sudden all the construction and sewage would disappear without men. These women are entirely dependent on men, 100%. All you have to do is ship them off to an island and say, build your own society. You'll find out they have no independence whatsoever.
attractive.
Why might those reactions?
Well, break that up. She's talking about attractive. Here we go.
Obligation, what do we call that?
A lot of people would like to call it cowardice.
Not attractive.
Why?
There you go. So these women are demanding men's gender roles. What I tell you, if you guys want real freedom, you're just going to have to be single. It's that simple. I'm not lying or exaggerating or making things up. This woman is telling you so. You want freedom, you're going to have to do without the opposite sex. That's it.
Might those reactions be different?
It depends who you're talking to and probably where you're from.
They always do that shit. It all depends. I'm admitting that I wouldn't deal with a man like that. I don't want equality, but it all depends. Someone out there will be unlike me.
Because if a man runs from responsibility, people see it as him running from his role. And if a woman seeks freedom, it's
No, look how this guy's voicing it himself. So if a man wants equality, he's running from responsibility. But if a woman wants equality, or no, she does want equality. If she wants supremacy over men, well, she's just seeking her freedom. Again, black dude, why do we bother with Martin Luther King? Why'd you care? You want to be a slave. Your enslavement is so ingrained. You even use their words, their framing.
empowerment because, like I said earlier, other women like to stick beside other women. And a lot of men won't do that because they'll frown upon other men for doing exactly that.
There you go. You just put it in a nutshell, dude. Women like other women. Men don't like other men. You just said it in a nutshell. Thank you.
Should fairness mean equal rights, equal responsibilities, or both?
Yeah, I think it's a both situation. I mean, equality just means, the freedom to be able to be who you want to be.
At what point does unfairness become injustice?
When it actively affects how you can live your life.
Can you define the word emasculate?
Emasculate, like strip a man like of his masculinity.
Emasculate means to deprive a man of his male role or identity.
Yeah.
So is emasculating men humiliation or liberation?
Good
I
question.
don't know what liberation is.
Freedom.
Oh my God. I don't know what liberation is. You and me both, lady, I have to admit.
Freedom?
I feel like it's both because, like, you're liberated from the normal male roles, but at the same time, you're humiliated because someone doesn't feel like you can take on those male roles.
No, you won't get the girl. You won't get the girl. That's all, dude.
If a man doesn't want to be the provider, protector, or initiator in dating, is that okay?
As long as you're upfront about it and you're on the same page, do what you want.
If a woman prefers not to cook, clean, or be nurturing, most people accept that. Should the same acceptance apply to men in reverse situations?
Like I said, I think it depends on your partner. I love cooking for my partner. It's really all about if you're communicating.
Yeah, it all depends on it. All those women who said they want men to be their providers, all depends on her, right, dude? You just need to communicate that you don't want to be a little slave boy, and they will dump you. I mean, these guys.
Do we judge men more harshly for not fulfilling roles than we judge women?
I think men judge themselves harsher.
Why would women...
No, these women, this lowlife especially, came right out and said, look, I don't find that attractive. I don't find men who don't work for me attractive.
appreciate the sacrifices men make when men are required to make those sacrifices to be with women in the first place?
I don't think they're necessarily required to. It's a choice because of...
No, you're lying. You're lying, Sack. You're lying because you just admitted that you don't find it attractive. You wouldn't deal with it. So you are a liar. Just a minute. I got to shut the window here. The lawn mowing was going on up there. Anyway, let's hear this.
what attracts women.
But there's a lot of girls out there that say they want all this and all that, but then they still get them with a man that like does absolutely nothing, stays on the couch,
Why does modern relationship often mean modern privileges for women, but traditional obligations for men?
Because that's evolution.
No, it's evolution, dude. Right? How is it evolution? Since it's been around. If it's traditional, it's not evolution. That'd be the opposite, right? In other words, you're saying it's natural. Your servitude, your second-class citizenry is natural. It benefits me, therefore it's natural. If it doesn't benefit her, it's not natural and has to be changed.
Would society function differently if large numbers of men stopped protecting or providing?
Yeah.
How so?
Because a lot of women now expect the man to buy them expensive things,
There you go. So it's not protection. Provision just means working for. Again,
provide, spend a lot of money on them, wife them up, have kids while they do absolutely nothing. Well, they clean the house, make sure everything's done
in other words, nothing. Yeah, I agree with that.
while they just provide all the money.
Can true equality exist if only one side can safely reject expectations without social or romantic punishment?
Okay, so I think that kind of a question is something that will evolve over time. We think one way.
See the gibberish? What do you mean? The question will evolve. No, he asked you a question. Answer it, you lying sack.
Now, but in 20 years, we might think completely different culturally.
Where do you think we're headed?
I think we are headed into a much more open society, a much more.
Well, you're lying. The only way we're heading towards that if men head that way. Men have to force it that way. Because you're all about staying right where we are. This woman absolutely disgusts me. I don't know who you are, no-name woman, but you are a lowlife.
Society in terms of race, ethnicity. So yeah, everything is just
Why are you bringing up race and ethnicity? This is about the genders. He's never talked about that. When you don't admit that you're a bad person, misdirect.
Becoming more open.
Would society function differently if large numbers of men stopped protecting or providing?
Yes, society would function differently.
How so?
I feel like there would be an overwhelming amount of men that would just lay comfortably or be comfortably in a relationship and not.
How would they be comfortable in a relationship if women reject them? Sorry, dude, you're full of it. You're a real midwit.
Want to do anything, and women wouldn't be okay with that. And I feel like a lot of relationships wouldn't be in existence today.
What would a genuinely role-neutral society look like for men and women?
It would mean that you could do anything as a career that you would want to do, and it would, like, men just.
Yeah, but women don't. Right? Well, they do, but what you want is standardized by you. Right? Are you going to work in the sewers or construction like Simp Man said? No, you're not. Right.
Staying home, more men staying home than women to take care of kids.
Yeah, well, we know, guys, from videos I've covered, what that turns out to be. One video I did, the woman divorced the man and took the children with him. Another woman shot the man in his back 4 times.
People still prefer traditional male behavior, even while saying roles shouldn't matter.
Yes, people do prefer traditional male behavior because that's.
No. Women do. Not just people. Women do. Men don't prefer that. Dude, what man actually wants to be in a relationship where he's a lower class? None of us do. Men just accept it in order to get the woman. So you're just wrong.
You're used to seeing when you're growing up.
Is there a difference between what we say we believe and what we reward in practice?
Yes, there is a difference in what we say we believe. A lot of people believe in freedom in a relationship, but at the same time, they want someone to be a traditional male or traditional woman in a relationship.
Yeah. In other words, the woman wants the man to work. Right.
Relationship.
Do you personally support men having the same freedom to redefine themselves that women have gained?
Yes, absolutely, but not my husband.
What?
There you go. There you go. This lying sack and all these man haters, they have husbands and boyfriends, guys. And this woman, she doesn't have anything, she doesn't have any earrings in her nose. She doesn't have tats. She doesn't have dye hair. She's not overweight. This is the typical feminist right here. Feminism comes from women. She just admitted it. So everything that's why this woman's so full of shit and bullshit and gaslit through this whole video. And she does it with this stinking smug smile on her face.
Not.
No, my husband needs to work.
What's one expectation on men?
I'm glad because she couldn't turn around because then she'd have to lie and say, my husband and I have an egalitarian relationship. I think she will. That's where we're going in the future, that women like her will just start lying and saying, yeah, my husband and I, we're so equal to one another. Right? Because women are not going to change. It's only up to us guys. Okay, let's hear from the genius.
And you think should change, and one that maybe shouldn't.
I think one expectation of men that should change is that they should always be the ones to pay for things and like take control of the house. I think that women can also, treat their man.
The man doesn't take control of the house. He's burdened with the responsibilities of the house upkeep.
Because I'm in a lesbian relationship, so we like to treat each other, One that I think shouldn't change is a woman just like getting things done for her husband sometimes. Like, I understand, like, you want to come home to a clean house, the dishes done, dinner.
In other words, women shouldn't have to work at all. Exactly. Oh, by the way, her relationship with her partner won't last long because these instincts to make the other person work for you don't disappear with a change of sexual orientation. These young women will not last.
Things like that.
And lastly, if the rules were rewritten from scratch today, what would be the fairest standard for everyone?
That both men and women can both work, and it's not.
Well, we can both work, and we both do work. Just that the relationship between men and women is the men have to work. See, notice again, she will not bring it down to the relationship between her and a man.
Like, one has to work and one has to clean the house.
So you would basically say that gender roles should kind of just disappear for everyone, you think?
Yeah.
Well, she's lying. These women all lied because I'm going to say it, they're just bad people. If you want the enslavement of others, which these women do, you're a bad person. Of course, they want to frame their badness in a good light. So they go back and forth with their lies, right? This woman, let's see if I can get this woman up here. She is the worst of them all because she has the smuggest smile, lying her ass off, and then she'll come right out and say, sorry, my husband, he's got to work for me. I don't want an egalitarian relationship. No woman does. She admits it. So again, guys, if you want to break out of your gender roles, you got to turn around and deal with the fact you're going to be single. And I'm going to go beyond this. You're also going to have to fight for your rights. Because just because you don't shack up with a woman, that doesn't mean they're going to sit idly and not take your rights away. This woman is 100% for men losing rights. I guarantee that. So we'll end it here.